Hello everyone, Soulless Scientist here again, and I'm going off the script a little bit today after this opening paragraph. For the record, I advised myself against it, but I didn't listen, so if this video turns out to be a train wreck, my bad. I couldn't get the script just right, so I'm gonna try using bullet points to hopefully stay on topic and have a little more emotion in my voice. My YouTube analytics tell me most people don't make it halfway through most of my videos, so I'm afraid I sound boring when I read straight from a script, so I'm going to actively try to be more entertaining to listen to, but without compromising detail. And I really hope I don't screw this up. So here we go, I guess. So this video is kind of meant to go into a little more detail about something that was brought up in the Battleborn podcast series that is being done by my fellow community members, Dirch and Leftstrafe. I'll put links to their channels, as well as a link to the podcast playlist in the description box below, so please go check them out. In episode 2, Dirch brings up a really good point, I think, about how sometimes people who go to these events, E3, Gamescom, PAX Prime, that kind of thing, how sometimes they seem very hands-off or disinterested or even kind of almost unaware of Battleborn and its various details, mechanics, things that I think would be really important to know for the consumer. And I hope in the process of doing so, I will find not necessarily a better way to cover the game, but maybe some ways that in doing so, it will encourage the people watching the video to find out more about the game. So this first video is from GameSpot. I'll put a link in the description box below. It has Mary and Mike in it. Mary opens up the video talking about, kind of briefly what Battleborn is, and then Mike says, multiplayer shooter, I think they're calling it, I don't know. And I think that he really should know. Gearbox and 2K, they're calling it a hero shooter. And if you were a member of the gaming press or media, and if you're going to be doing some reporting on this game, I think it's important to know what the people who are making it and publishing it are, what they describe it as. I would file that under the list of important details to correctly report on. And when he's saying this, his facial expressions just make him seem very disinterested in the game, and that just kind of made the video less enjoyable for me to watch thereafter. And then when Mary is going to start talking about their first playthrough, she says, well, nobody really cares about their names. And I think that's incorrect, because I care about their names, and I know a lot of other people do. A name is very important, especially in a Gearbox game, because a name is a difference between the villain who wears the mask and Handsome Jack, and that's a really big difference. I get that maybe she just played the game for the first time, and it was probably just verbal filler until she could recall the characters' names, but I think she could have chosen a better way to introduce the characters to viewers who may know nothing about the game in a way that encourages them to find out more. And then Mary talks about how they played the campaign mission on Bliss, the ice level that we're all very very used to seeing at this point. And she says that the trailer wasn't really indicative of what they played. So I'm kind of left wondering if the only sort of preparations they did was just to watch a trailer. And it's really important, I think, to notice that Battleborn is the first game of its kind. It's not just a new IP, it's like a new genre. And as a result of that, I think it's probably one that requires, a little research before you play it, especially if you're going to be doing any sort of media reporting on it. And, watching a trailer can adequately prepare you for some games, but I don't think Battleborn is one of them. So the second video is from PC Gamer. It has Evan and Tyler in it. Evan talks about not understanding the humor in the dialogue because he doesn't know the full story, and as a result of that, he's not being pulled in. And I kind of understand that, because you're not going to get much of that information from a 20-minute demo. But it is available online, probably on the official game website. I think it would have been better for the video to start with a synopsis. Maybe they looked up one beforehand and start their commentary with that. Something that explains the setting of the game and why so many different characters are in the same place. Tyler talks about how he was half listening to the VO and didn't really get what was happening, just knew he had to kill things, and that doesn't sound like he was too interested in what was happening on screen. And he says that he was baffled by the upgrade menu, so it kind of suggests that he had no idea how the level up process worked, kind of suggesting he did no prior research on the Helix system. But even just watching the Gamescom trailer, it appears there for a couple seconds when Umbra is going through like 3 or 4 tiers of upgrades to turn her staff into a spear for increased range. Evan, toward the end of the video, talks about waiting to see what makes Battleborn more than just a rehash of Borderlands by a different name with a competitive and cooperative focus. And I would say there are some similarities because it's being made by the same team, and having similar qualities does not make it's not the same as being identical. And it kind of leads me to think, am I the only one who sees the spirit of Borderlands in Battleborn and not seeing Battleborn as a Borderlands copy? Okay, sure. Okay, is Battleborn the next evolution of the Borderlands style? Yes, I would say that is a factual statement. Ultimately, is it a reskin of Borderlands with some new stuff sprinkled on top? No, I would say no, not at all. But the two games, they have a very similar, health and shield system, randomly generated loot, humorous dialogue, a cast of colorful and well-developed characters. Some of these things are what Gearbox has become known for, so of course they're gonna put it in Battleborn. But just because it was a prominent part of Borderlands, and they are taking these things and putting it into a game that is not Borderlands, does not turn that second game into a copy of the first. Toward the end of the video, Evan talks a lot about Battleborn as being in competition with current similar titles like Dirty Bomb and Team Fortress 2, and future ones like Overwatch, Paladins, and Lawbreakers. Maybe the arena shooter category is getting crowded on PC, so I'm not the best person to address this because my laptop can only efficiently run PlayStation 2 era games and StarCraft 2 on the lowest settings. But, I think that if you're a PC gamer and you mostly play competitive multiplayer games, then everything on that list will probably work for you, and maybe you're more accustomed to free-to-play games, so when you see something like these other titles that will launch at full retail price, then I can understand why you may not be as interested in it. And I think, the comments on these types of videos display this pretty clearly, with many people being perplexed as to why Battleborn is not free to play, and as a result, many people are pledging to forego it altogether, or they're waiting until the price drops to being nearly free. And, okay, I am super excited for this game. I just don't want people to miss out because they're too put off by the notion of having to pay for a full price game that they would likely enjoy. Plus a co-op story mode, which by the way is unique to Battleborn. So normally this would be the section where I ask that you, rate, comment, subscribe, but this time I'm looking for a little more detail. Do you prefer this lightly scripted style, or should I go back to the script? Maybe some of both. What do you think? Please rate the video. It really helps me gauge how my content is being received. If you like what you saw/heard, hit that thumbs up button, and leave a comment below. Actually do some typing. Tell me how I'm doing. What did you like about the video? What can I do better? What kinds of content would you like to see me do in the future? And please do subscribe if you feel so inclined, because being able to reach new people is integral to the growth of my channel. So I would appreciate your digital vote of confidence in my content. These kinds of audience interaction help me gauge how I'm doing. The analytics tell me a lot, but they don't tell me everything. And that's why I feel I would be better equipped if I heard from all of you. So I would really appreciate your feedback. Quick channel update coming soon. I'm going to start doing some character theory crafting. I don't want to call them builds just yet because they can't currently be tested. If the Battleborn closed technical test is next month, and I really hope it is, then maybe I can do a little more detail on some of the later ones. If for any reason you are not currently signed up for the closed technical test, I will put a link in the description box below for you to go sign up. So please go ahead and do that at the end of the video, which is right now, actually. So thank you very much for watching.